All right, as soon as I went live, just about to tell y'all that we're about to go live. We're having some little technical difficulties, guys. It was storming over here.
Your radio's up.
Had that signal back, but
Your radio's up.
TPN1.com.
Your radio's up. 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 Your radio's up.
Tonight's episode is sponsored by Maverick Entertainment Group, celebrating 20 years of urban entertainment.
And it's recording. Okay. You want to share it on your Facebook?
I did already.
You need anything on here, or is this good?
It's good. Yeah, you can put it away. You can close it down if it's in your way. Y'all want to sit down? You trying to get taller? Which one are you trying to do?
You just have to have your phone on silent,
Yeah.
because you guys are gonna be like,
Wait, what are you doing?
I'm trying to go live on Facebook.
Click over to the next one.
You talking to me?
No, it's already set up for you. Just hit the fade up top. Up top. No, go up top. Up top.
What's up, people? This is your boy, Bernard McCoy, right here on Thursday night. You know what time it is. TPN Live with Bobby and Renee Peoples. Nobody does it like they do. So you need to come on in, call in with your questions, anything like that, because we got some awesome guests tonight. We have none other than Chantilly Juicy. Now, she is a producer, director, and cast member of BBW's Of Atlanta reality show. Now, we also have none other than Papoo Outland. He is the writer of, guess this? Marriage is a Trap in Disguise. Oh my God, it's going to be an awesome night tonight. You don't want to miss it with none other than Bobby and Renee Peoples, TPN Live on TPN1.com. Come on now, let's go. It's time to do it. TPN Live, Bobby and Renee Peoples.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Hey,
this is
what's up?
TPN Live with Bobby and Renee.
Yes.
How y'all doing out there tonight?
We're sorry. We apologize. We're a little bit late. We're a couple minutes late. We were having some technical difficulties.
Plus, it rained over here, so we're gonna blame it on the rain.
It was storming pretty bad. Right when we was trying to get logged into the show.
Yeah.
So we do apologize. If you're on my Facebook page and you're looking at us now, make sure you go to TPN and the number one.com
and subscribe.
You will see our TPN Live with Bobby and Renee. Actually, if you click on that link, you will see the actual live video on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell button. And give us a thumbs up, as my baby say.
Yep, thumbs up. So as you guys can see, we got the new backdrop back here. How you guys like that? Hope you guys like it. If you do like that, give us a shout out for that. It was totally my idea. Renee had nothing to do with that whatsoever.
So we already know whose idea it was.
So it was all my plan. But so we want to say, what we got coming up lately. So everybody tell people what you doing.
Well, I guess the next thing we have coming up is the Screen on the Green.
Screen on the Green.
We're going to be showing Flags on the Field season 2.
Season 2,
the
episode
first
1.
Episode of season 2. So we're going to be doing that at our home.
Yep. And what else?
For those of you that received the invite, it's going to be here. It's a BYOF. Bring your own food. And BYOB. The reason being is we are celebrating Bryson's birthday that same day as well. And so we're going to be at Stars and Strikes. So,
earlier that day.
Yeah, as soon as we leave there, then we're going to be coming here straight home to get ready for the Screen on the Green. Granted, it doesn't rain the way it's been raining lately.
Right.
But that's the next thing we have coming up. That's July 15th. And then after that, we're going to be
the Fixation premiere.
The Fixation premiere, which is July
28th. 2 days after our anniversary. Yeah, you forget that.
Anniversary weekend.
Yeah, that's right. Who idea was to schedule a movie screening 2 days after our anniversary weekend?
We already know whose
her idea.
Because
I want, my thing is all about respecting the marriage values and always wanting to be, doing what we're supposed to do as husband and wife. I would never, ever schedule
this premiere on our anniversary weekend. I'm not even going to trip about it, though, y'all. I'm not even
she should trip about it because one anniversary, she wasn't even here.
So you getting me back.
She wasn't even here. She went out of town.
Getting me back. So, you know what I'm saying? This is the get back.
Like, I was by myself for my anniversary eating leftover ramen noodles. And how you eat leftover ramen noodles? You know what I'm saying? It's like, how?
By choice.
You know what I'm saying?
By choice. So he's getting me back for this. Okay, it's cool. It's all good. That's our anniversary weekend.
But also let people know that you're going to be in the upcoming season of Survivor's Remorse.
Yes, on Stars. So I am super excited.
Yes.
So you guys tune in. It's August 20th, right?
August 20th.
First episode.
And we also doing we're doing a party here at the house to do another. It depends on the weather because it's been crazy. We might do a screen on the green. Then if not, we'll do it
on the inside.
Hook the flash screen up over there and make it happen.
Yep, that's right. Yeah. So
you excited?
I'm very excited. And every time I see that commercial, so if you guys are fans of Power, if you see Power, they play that commercial throughout the show, so you will see.
Well, not throughout the show because the commercial they play before. They play before the commercial.
Okay, well, before and after.
Okay, we gotta be politically correct about itself.
Yeah, let me have my moment of glory.
Okay, all right, okay, fine.
If I want to say throughout the show, then it's throughout the show.
It's not throughout the show.
But anyway, y'all, if you guys are fans of Power and you see the trailer playing, actually I showed twice in the trailer.
You 3 times.
3 times in the trailer, and the last part of it, you'll see me cracking.
And she got lines too. So people thinking she just hitting people. She definitely got lines.
Yeah, it's a good scene. It's a good scene, and I was super excited when we actually did it. I did give my testimony to you guys, and I'll give it again on the show a little bit later on this evening.
Excited about that. My baby on television.
Yay, I was so excited, y'all. Okay.
Exactly. And also, we're gonna talk about our guest tonight, Mr. Papoo Outland.
Yeah. Now let me tell y'all about this book. Can I see that book, please?
Really? Yeah. We're gonna do this right now.
Yes, I want to show this book because, see, we got a lot of questions about this.
Oh, Lord.
Marriage is a trap in disguise. So this is going to be the conversation that we're going to be having tonight.
Yes.
And I have quite a few questions.
I bet you do have some questions
about this book here. Yes. So you guys make sure you stay tuned.
Lord.
We're going to be talking about marriage. We're going to be talking about sex and marriage, and we're going to be talking about other things pertaining to relationships and a few of our questions that some of our people send in also.
Lord.
So we
crazy.
We have quite a bit to talk about tonight, so it's going to be very entertaining, so you guys make sure you stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Also too, we did have 2 guests tonight. Chantel Juicy couldn't make it tonight because she had some unexpected tragedy happen. Nothing bad, serious, but unexpectedly happened to her that she couldn't make it out tonight.
Enough, definitely.
Yeah, definitely serious enough she couldn't make it, so she'll probably be on a later date. Chantel Juicy, she's the creator, director, producer of the reality show BBWs of Atlanta. So hopefully things work out for her, and she'll be on the show soon.
Yes.
Soon.
Yes.
All right. So I guess we're gonna cut to commercial break, and we'll be back with Mr. Papoo Outland.
Yes, that's it.
All right. We'll see you back in a few.
All right.
Hi everyone, it's Nadej Bailey. Be sure to tune in to TPN Live with my Auntie Renee and my Uncle Bobby Peoples.
This is John Sylvie.
This is Haley Sylvie. This is Haley Sylvie.
And you are watching TPN Live with
Bobby Renee.
Enjoy.
Different flavors make the world go around. And now try the flavor of hot honey mustard on the boneless wings meal. Served with crinkle fries, Texas toast, and a 22-ounce drink. Friends, family, flavor. Zaxby's. Indescribably good.
Aloha, my name is Samara Hope, and you're watching TPN Live with Bobby and Renee.
Hey, this is Devin Bradshaw, and you're tuned in to TPN Live with Bobby and Renee.
It's In the Street with Tina B, and I'm tuned in to TPN Live with Bobby and Renee.
Hello, my name is Mario Williams, and you're watching TPN Live with Bobby and Renee.
Honey, I wonder if your wife knows you're here right now.
Your dad plays professional football, right?
Tell us a little bit about the movie.
Hello, indie fans. Today I'm here with Eduardo Castrillo, the filmmaker.
Only with Maverick Entertainment, home to the best indie movies.
Hello, it's Cynthia Deck, aka Queen of Abs, and you're watching TPN Live with Bobby and Renee.
This is Marissa from Sultry Solutions, and you're tuning into TPN Live with Bobby and Renee Peoples on Instant Radio. Enjoy.
It's here in Walmart. Yes, it is. Let me just show y'all what I'm talking about. There it is, The Last Assignment. I'm going to put it right back on the shelf right next to King Kong so they won't think I'm trying to steal it or nothing, without buying it first. But it's here, Walmart, Cartersville, Georgia.
Hey, Doke, we are back.
Yes, we are back.
And we're back in the hot seat, Mr. Papoo Outland. And I'm saying it right, Papoo, correct?
Right.
All right, Papoo Outland. This is the father of a friend of ours who's an actress, Priska Outland.
Priska.
Yeah, this is her dad. And
that. Okay.
He is an author by trade, I'm assuming. This is what you do full time. He write books about controversy. He's a real, he's kind of buff, so he can handle himself. He ain't got to worry about it. He can say what he want to say. He's good to go.
That's right.
But the title of his book is called "Marriage is a Trap in Disguise."
That's right.
And the subtitle.
And the subtitle is what is
an experiment in individuality to the tune of one's tolerance.
Woo!
Okay, so
that's a mouthful
we
there.
need to see exactly what that's talking about there. We definitely need to see exactly what that's talking about.
What made you? Well, first of all, what made you to title that book that book?
Well, I've been married before.
Obviously.
And most people that write books about marriage, they have been through some circumstances, and so they want to share with others that help them have a better marriage, I guess you would say.
Right.
And what makes the book so interesting is because the title of the book is based on two suppositions. First is I look at the biblical approach of marriage.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, look at the individual side of marriage.
Okay.
So that's how I came up with my book is written on two premises, the biblical and individual side. So in other words, those who are Christians, if they want to complain, they can complain about the marriage based on the Christian aspect. And then those who are non-Christian, that is the individual approach. Individual approach. That's why in the conclusion, I came up with an experiment in individuality to the tones of one tolerance. And I figured that I don't think anyone can argue against that. I mean, you can argue and say, what is a trap? But you can tell me it's not an experiment.
So without getting out names or anything like that, so did Priska mom get on your nerves or something? I mean, you just said, I'm like, you know what? I'm out this bitch, and I'm just going to like this.
No. I mean, I've been married 3 times. That's why I wrote the book.
Oh, okay. Well,
3 times. Okay. So it's not just one marriage.
It's not just one
marriage.
Not
one marriage, because this book is about, what, 300 pages?
300 pages. 100 pages for each marriage.
200. Let me see, how many pages in all? I think about 200 and what?
Oh, it's over
310
it's 100 pages per marriage.
Yeah,
okay.
300.
Okay.
So, and this book details all 3 of my marriages. And then within this book, you also have, basically, the book is about a dialogue.
Okay.
You see, because these books that come up with so many steps you have to go through to be happy, I just call them just a waste of time. Because I mean,
hold on, wait. So being happy is a waste of time?
No, I'm talking about the steps.
Oh,
the
okay,
steps,
okay.
Like 10 steps to be happy in a marriage.
Got you.
You know, you go through the first step, and then by the time you get to the fifth, you worn out because it's like, I mean, you want to be natural, you want to flow. You know, that's how I look at marriage. You can be married. I look at it as flowing, not just you got worried, but okay, this is the fifth step today. You know, I have to work on the fifth step, and the fifth step could be, I gotta call her on my lunch break. I gotta write a little note, put it on her pillow.
So basically, it's I guess different ways of communication. Then that sometimes it bothers you or it boggles you down or something. Would that be a right saying for you or?
What are you talking about?
Well, like you're saying, because you're saying like okay, when we married, I shouldn't have to call you every day to know how you're doing. That's basically what you're saying, right?
Right. Yeah.
So it's basically you're saying that you don't want to. You're tired of communicating that way, or you shouldn't have to communicate that way.
Yeah. What I'm saying is that when you give people rules to follow, right? Mm-hmm. One thing is before people get married, they get along very well.
Yeah. That's true.
And then, so after you're married, now why you got these rules that you got to follow to keep the love going, and that's where the problem it is, that people have so many rules they have to follow to be happy. And so, like I said, my first approach was the biblical side because I'm a Christian.
Okay.
And being trapped, first let's define what it means to be trapped.
Okay.
Yes, because let's get to that
definition. Many people, when they see the word trap, right?
I
always have the experience. The first thing they tell me, "Oh, you were a bad man. That's how come you
say you're the bad man. She could have been a bad woman."
Exactly so. You know, like so. These people are calling. They are put in the confirmation trap.
Okay.
Now the confirmation trap is people who don't try to disconfirm something. Anything they hear, they just accept it as truth. Mm-hmm. Now, when I hear something, I'm skeptical about it in the first place. So I want to know why it is what it is.
Right.
But many people, they don't do that. Then when I tell them my story, then they say, "Oh, I see. I can understand what you're saying." So first thing is, what does it mean to be trapped? And when you look at marriage today, just look at the statistic: 50% divorce.
Yeah, that's true.
And why is this thing going on? Why is it continuing to go on? It's not going to stop. Why?
Well, I guess in my situation, because I think marriages is that people get married not knowing who they're marrying. So, like I said, they're sending their representative and not who they really are. In the case of Renee and I, we're not just married. We're business partners, but we also friends. So whenever something goes through, we still have that other connection that revives the other. So if she's mad at me for something I did on the marriage side, we're still business partners. So
at the end of the day, I can't just...
So she can't just walk away. But however, whatever business deal we got going on, whatever I did prior to that part is going to be null and void because we worked on this business together, and whatever she was mad at me before, she's not mad no more. You know what I'm saying? Because we have more than just our marriage. So don't you think that when people get married, they should have more than just the relationship?
I think that's where the complication come in at. And when you look at it as a ball and chain, because I hear a lot of men saying that, I'm going to go home to my ball and chain. How do you feel about that? The whole ball and chain reference, saying that marriage is a trap.
I don't call you a ball and chain. I call you a concubine.
You call me concubine. Yeah. Yes, because I can be your concubine and I can be your wife, see. Right. But I'm talking about this ball and chain.
Put that wig on.
I'm talking about the whole ball and chain.
Like a whole new woman, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Really?
But how do you define that? Like, how does that work?
You see, now, this is something you just said that, you said that people don't know. They getting married and they don't know who they're ready to get married to.
Right,
that's true.
Now that sounds true, right?
Well, sounds true.
It sounds logical. Okay, but if that was so true, why is it that the divorce rate is 50%? Are you saying all the folks that got married, they didn't know who they're getting married to?
Yeah.
You know what?
Okay.
I said it.
You know what?
Right.
You know what I blame?
Okay.
I blame the Cosby Show.
Okay.
Yeah, because you had these fairy tale marriages.
You have these fairy tale marriages out here, right?
Okay.
See, all of us, I know when I grew up loving the Cosby Show, and I loved their marriage. I wanted to go to a HBCU after watching the
Different World.
A Different World, and also the Cosby Show. I wanted a marriage like that. And my first marriage, this is my second marriage. My first marriage, I based that kind of off of that because that's what I had to go off of. My mom and dad I didn't have a marriage role model, so to speak. So mine would come from a fairy tale, right? And I'm like, wait a minute now, hold up. Something wrong because this ain't building. Something is definitely wrong here.
Cliff and Claire.
This marriage here is not the Cosby Show marriage. So, I guess with a lot of people going into it, and a lot of people don't have examples of how marriage is. If you have a broken home and you have these children coming from broken homes, and then you have these children getting into these marriages, they don't know the survival tactics of marriage and staying in it for the long haul. My husband does. That's how come he's had me here for 10 years. Because I was a runner at first. I would have left a long time ago.
I thought it was his gut.
I would have left a long time ago. But see, he had that representation of a marriage and staying in it for the long haul.
So, were your parents still married, or?
Well, okay. Let me address the issue about. Now, you said this is your second marriage, right? Mm-hmm. So, in other words, you are saying that your first marriage didn't work because you didn't know who you had been married to, right?
Right, so to speak. We were young, and then young. It was a lot of things in that, but yeah, my marriage wasn't that fairy tale marriage that I expected it to be.
Okay, yeah, you just been married for 10 years, right?
Almost 10 years. We've been together 10 years. We'll be married 10 years next year.
Okay, that's good. You see, and that's what makes marriage so a mystery, because you got people who've been married 20 years to get a divorce. They've been married 30 years to get a divorce because you have unforeseen circumstances. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. That's why this book talks about the experiment in individuality to the tones of one tolerance. One thing about marriage is that there are things people in marriage tolerate. That's the bottom line. If you're married, you are tolerating something. Okay, so and that's why I wrote a book saying that it's to the tune of your tolerance. Like this guy purchased my book. He's going through a divorce where he was asking me, should I go ahead and divorce? And I said, look, I can tell you the divorce is not.
It's not legal.
I said it is to the tune of your tolerance. Right. How much you can tolerate. Now, some people believe in marriage for life. Yeah. They believe in marriage for better or marriage for better or for worse. Okay, that's a trap right there. Because if you are married for better or for worse, you are already trapped because what is your partner is abusive. That's the worst part, right?
Right.
Okay.
You stay get your head whooped every day.
Okay. And that was the thing too, because in the Christian realm, they say that divorce is a sin. You're not supposed to divorce, right? That's what a lot of the Christians' way of thinking. So if you get a divorce, you've already sinned against God.
Well, okay, Christian divorce is conditional. They
based on adultery.
Adultery. Okay, and in my book, and that's why I said in the book that if divorce were only for adultery, then it's a trap because a lot of marriages, the problem is not adultery. Okay, people get divorced for
finances,
all kinds of reasons. A man snores too much, he eats too much, he doesn't like that. That's how, because we are individual, and that's where the individuality comes in. So when I look at the biblical reason for being married, that's the first trap I look at, because you have this. It started from in the garden of Eve. What you call it? Garden of Eve? Okay, and the first thing is, whenever you tell a man or a woman, are you submissive to your husband, I get a big negative feedback. But then I say, okay, if that's the case, why you call yourself a Christian? Doesn't the Bible say a woman should be submissive to her husband? And when I say that, I'm not saying that to say that I agree with a woman being submissive.
You just open up their mind.
I have to open up the mind. Yeah. So then I asked to turn the question around, why does a woman have to be submissive to a man? Now, that's the question where people cannot come up.
Good position to be submissive.
Good position?
Okay, so listen. All right, let's end on that note. We're gonna go and we're gonna end on that about submission.
Okay.
Okay. So for those of you that's on my Facebook live feed right now, as you can see, we got it all kinds of ways. But if you go to TPN and the number1.com, you can see it live professionally on our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe. We're going to go off on that note. We're going to go off for a little bit and go pay some bills here, cut to some commercials. And we're going to come back and we're going to talk about this submission in marriage. Yes, that was a big problem for me. That was a...
Go reverse cowgirl. Are we talking about those kind of submissions?
No, we're talking about the submission in marriage in the Bible. Well, what they talk about in the Bible. Yeah, we're gonna talk about this.
You got reverse cowgirl. You got doggy. Okay, well, we'll be back, guys. We're gonna we got a promo. We got your book promo. People been the books are selling, and people been talking about the book. So we want to see what people been talking about, saying about your book. All right, so let's see what they're talking about.
Marriage is a trap in disguise.
True. I'm just kidding.
Wow.
I mean, I sense the standpoint that it's anti-marriage.
Oh my God. Come closer. Come closer.
Yeah, marriage is a trap in disguise, an experiment in individuality to the tune of one's tolerance.
I'd say the whole trap in disguise has to do with what you think a marriage is versus what it really is before you are necessarily in it. I think a lot of people who aren't married have philosophies on what marriage is. And whether they think it's a trap or it's not a trap or whatever it is, it's not necessarily realistic. So when it says it's in disguise, it's bringing out the truth of a marriage.
The title in of itself is, I find it just thought-provoking. Yeah. I want to analyse that and think a little bit more in terms of where this is going to lead.
Uh-oh.
The title, it's bait, but it's good bait.
Oh yeah, but yeah, so there's two wedding rings, so it's like a Venn diagram.
I like this part. An experiment in individuality to the tune of one's tolerance. I'm not sure what that means.
An experiment in individuality to the tune of one's tolerance. Because I think that sums up marriage.
Like I said, to the tune of, she doesn't want to talk about, I'm having issues with mine anyway.
This was the bit, actually, no, that was the part that I thought was like, it makes you stop and think. It's, let's say, a little more profound. So.
Right. Oh, so it's like seeking out God for...
I think that's an important,
marriage.
Yeah, I think that is an important factor to have.
Okay, so basically I think it's talking about how marriages fail, and even marriages that have God in it will fail.
I think this is interesting to incorporate God in people's marriages if they are religious people and if they believe it could help.
Marriage is a trap, like when you get stuck in a rut in your marriage. Like the first 9 months of our marriage, we were stuck in a rut. And you had to like work through a lot of stuff. You have to like work through a lot of stuff, like you bring your baggage and all of that stuff. And I think it becomes a trap if you don't get past that. And that's regardless if you have God or don't or whatever your beliefs are.
I'm assuming this book is not for marriage.
Who made the trap?
Which is fine. I mean, marriage isn't for everyone.
Marriage is a trap in disguise. And that is too negative for me.
Gotcha.
Okay. And I've been married and he's never been married.
No, so we're trying to stay away from this subject today.
It's a valid standpoint.
Valid
standpoint, not one that everyone thinks, but there's a lot of evidence for it.
Right.
I think you need to be ready for marriage. People say that it's a trap because they don't want it. Anything's a trap you don't want.
True.
Lots of money's a trap, no money's a trap.
Okay, so now I want to read this though.
No marriage is a trap. It's all a trap.
We are back. So you got a question? You say you had a question? What's the question?
Yeah, so one of our viewers said that she's curious to hear about the submissive part because her ex-husband had an issue with submission. Was it an issue with submission on your part, with you not submitting all the way, or was it an issue with him submitting or giving himself back to you? So I'm going to stay tuned so I can see what her answer is on that. So yeah, talking about the submission part thing. So, what is your take on it personally?
Okay. All right. I don't give my personal view on when it comes to submission. Because I'm a Christian, first let's look at what the Bible said about submission.
Okay.
And when I asked the question, why does a woman have to be submissive to a man? And then a lot of people don't have a right answer, an answer. They have to think about it. And as when you look at the Bible, in my book, I did a critical analysis from Adam and Eve's story.
Okay.
So in this book, you have a chapter I call Biblical Soap Opera.
I did see that.
Right. It's very interesting. This book going to take you through emotions when you read it.
Okay.
When you get to reading my 3 stories, if that doesn't knock you off, then when you get to the biblical soap opera, when I read all of those marriages in the Bible, I mean, I just got sick of it. Okay, so the book is interesting, but submission is something that was given to man by God. And I always ask the question, why did God give man this, the head of the home? And according to the Bible, it's because Eve did the wrong thing, right? Eve ate the fruit, and because she ate the fruit, she was
cursed with bleeding.
Cursed with
once a month.
Yeah, with being submission. And because when you look at the punishment God gave to Adam and Eve, He made Adam and Eve, and with Adam and Eve and the devil, but Adam was supposed to be the head of the woman, and the woman was supposed to be submissive. But before Adam and Eve sinned, there was no such thing as a submission. It was helpmate. Okay, so let's get that clear. So
you're saying before Eve talked Adam into biting the apple,
right?
She was there as a helpmate.
She was a helpmate, according to the scripture.
After him being weak-minded, and he ate the apple,
she became a co-defendant.
She became a slave.
No, she became a co-defendant. They both was on trial.
Now that's what makes it interesting.
So it's because when I hear the word submission, I hear slave. Like, you're going to do what I tell you to do. If I say jump, you say how high.
Yeah, sounds about
right. According to God, according to the Bible, it said Adam shall rule over Eve. Now, whenever I mention that word, because I want to create confusion, right? I want controversy. People get activated because they try to define the word submission in a nice way. They want to say, well, it doesn't mean this, it doesn't mean that. Well, I say, okay, but what is rule?
Right. Yeah,
the Bible says rule.
Yeah,
He shall rule over you, woman. Okay, so why did God...
You heard that, woman.
Okay, so why did God do that? What God did was, I look at it as God's setup.
Okay.
It was marriage in the beginning was a setup in the garden. And that's why today you have the same thing going on today, where woman and man have this problem of submission. Now, in the church, you don't hear too many preachers preach exactly what the Bible said about submission.
Right.
Because the culture,
Of course, you're going to have some issues. Because I got some issues right now.
Right. So what they do is, now their compromise is, especially the New Testament, because in the Old Testament, it was just rule over her, right?
Right.
But in the New Testament, you hear some preachers say, when Jesus came into the scene, he liberated a woman, right? And I said, but that proved my point that, okay, so in the beginning, Adam was supposed to rule over Eve, okay? But they won't preach that now. They also say, well, they are supposed to submit to one another.
Right.
Okay, now, but the Bible didn't say in the New Testament. Even in the New Testament, it said, because Eve was the first to sin, Adam shall rule over her.
Now, see, that's why I have a problem.
Right. I know you got a problem.
Because, see, Eve, not the one that bit the apple, right? Adam, and that goes to show you how much power a woman can have over a man. Okay, let's just make that clear, because a woman can have so much power that a man will sin against God after he told him, do not eat that apple. And here this beautiful woman come with this beautiful hair, this beautiful skin, looking very angelic, and all she had to do was seduce him into eating the apple. And what did Adam do? He ate the apple. So I don't understand, how can this weak vessel rule over this woman that has so much power?
Because it was some of that good. Adam got some of that good. And he's like, you know what? I got to keep getting some of this right now.
Now, in my book, what I did was, I look at, they were already trapped in the garden. Okay, Adam and Eve was set up to fail in the garden. And the reason being is that God knew that they were going to eat the fruit. But my problem in my book I asked was, why was Eve chosen to be the one?
To be the one to talk him into
it. So Adam, now this is where the irony comes. Adam was just as guilty as Eve from eating the fruit. But he gets to rule over Eve.
Right.
Now, why does Adam rule over Eve?
Why?
Because God is God, God is a man. And for some reason, God...
Oh, here we go.
That's where I put it, right?
Hold up. Go.
I try in my mind as much as possible, right, to figure out why did God make Eve the scapegoat. Because God knew everything. So in other words, Adam was trapped because remember, in the Bible, when Adam was created, God already told Adam what to do and what to do, right? So Adam could not sin by himself. He was there, he couldn't sin, right? Okay, so God had an afterthought. He said, okay, this guy is not doing what I thought he was going to do. So he brought in this woman.
So Eve was a ride or die then.
So Eve was the downfall.
Okay,
so
right.
It's almost, okay, so I see. So even going back to the biblical part of it,
right?
Why did we have to be, because women was cursed with the, the menstrual cycle, with the cramps, and with the, all of these things that the pain that women have to go through.
Subjection
naturally.
was the curse.
Subjection was the curse.
Right.
Okay. So all right. So I'm gonna go to Andrea's, because she said she felt like she was the head of the household and not the helpmate. So why should she have to be submissive to him according to what the Bible says? So there should be some stipulations to this thing, because why should I submit to you if you're not doing or holding up your part of the bargain?
That's what make marriage a trap, because yes, that'll make it a trap. Just remember, to be trapped is to be restricted, to be confined, to be blocked. Okay, so right now we're only dealing with a biblical portion. I mean, if you read the book, your eyes gonna be open. Yeah. Because what happened is, like I said, people don't know that marriage is a trap. That's why marriage don't work. Because, well, are we on?
We on.
Oh, yeah, on.
Okay. People don't know marriage is a trap. That's why marriages don't work, because they think they get into this thing that is going to be lovely and married happily and married forever. Okay, but then after 10 years, 20 years, somebody is getting tired of
the same
old thing. Recently, I heard a man who had been married for 25 years. He said, for 25 years, I've been giving into her. Because the Bible says, husband, love your wife.
As Christ loved the church.
As Christ loved the church. Die for her. But if you just die, and who live longer today? Women live longer than men. I think you said the average rate is 8 years.
Stuff.
Right.
So
this guy, for 25 years, he's been giving to her. And now he said he's just ready to quit because he's tired of giving. That's a trap in itself.
But why would he be tired of giving, though? That's the part that I don't understand. Like, why would he be tired after 25 years? This is you. This is who you are. It's etched in you. So there had to have been something a long time ago where he clocked out a long time ago.
Well, the reason is that you have people telling you in marriage that you are supposed to be one flesh.
Yes.
Okay, that one flesh thing, people have a misconception about one flesh. What is your understanding of one flesh?
We are one as far as on one accord with everything that we do. We're supposed to be in sync with one another. So whether it be from the household to the kids to whatever, whatever it is that's pertaining to our family, our home, we're supposed to be on that one accord. We become one. So I guess, leave your parents and you become one with that person.
Okay.
And you trust that person wholeheartedly as if you trust yourself.
Sure. Okay, that sounds nice.
Sounds nice.
That sounds nice.
Sounds nice.
But as an individual, you are being trapped if you think that your partner is supposed to think like you. And that's what the issue is.
That's true.
Okay?
I agree with
and
that.
And that's why in marriages you got one person who is always compromising.
That's true.
They call it the accommodation, I guess.
Yes.
You accommodate him, but you accommodate her. You always give in, and you give in, but you are an individual. That's why in marriage, when you become married, you are going to lose some of your identity. Because remember, individualism is an identity, is an element of well-being. You are an individual. Marriage is going to block you, prevent you from being some of the things you want to be. Why? Because you have two people who are different, And when they become married, they think that you have to think like your husband. You have to think that you. Okay. The only reason in the Bible they gave for one flesh is sex.
Sex. Let's talk about
That's
sex.
it.
Okay,
sex.
let's talk about sex.
If you compromise, if you concentrate on sex as the only one flesh agreement, you can deal with other things. Because in other words, you know your partner doesn't have to agree with you on everything that you do. Now the thing is being able to live together and not have to agree on everything. You have an opinion. Your husband has an opinion. You have
That's
an opinion.
True.
Okay. Only when you have an opinion, you are free to express your opinion without being condemned. And that's how I was in my third marriage. My third marriage. I was the smart guy, you know. You see, when I got married for the third time, I thought I had it all good because I've been through the first one. I've been through the second, right? So
the third one, you good.
Now,
you got this.
Honestly, they say the second marriage, the divorce rate higher. Now the third one, you know, that's real tough. Okay, so when I got married the third time, I had it good because when I first got married, I was poor. I was 19 years old. I was poor.
Your third marriage at 19?
No, my first marriage.
My
first marriage. I was 19.
When you got married?
All right. When I got married the third time, I was considered myself a rich man. I had a good job. I had money. I had this. But what I didn't know that, or I didn't think about was that this person I'm marrying is an individual. I thought she was going to be submissive, you know.
Because, so that submissive thing messed you up.
Right,
so
okay.
She didn't like it on her back?
So in other words, what I mean submissive, no, I was a nice guy now, but I found out that I found myself always giving to her.
Okay.
Because now, whenever I didn't give to her, then it was a problem. Okay?
Okay.
So, and that's where some of the problems started developing. And that's why you have people who are married today. The longer they are married, they are tolerating as much as they can. Because if you are married and you are tolerating something that you don't like, you better stop it as soon as possible because you're going to take it so much and then one day you just leave.
That's right.
It can go on for 30 years. Can you imagine people married for 30 years and still get married and still divorced?
That's why the communication, that's why communication is so important in marriage and relationships because, and that's the thing I think with my first marriage, that's a big reason because our communication wasn't there and I didn't express when, well, I didn't know how to express, you know, things that I didn't like that he did. And when I finally expressed them, I would blow up and, you know, and then things went out of hand. With this marriage, I said, okay, we're going to take a different approach. We're going to try to communicate as much as we can. It doesn't always work that way, but, you know, I'm trying to be more, I guess what you say, open-minded about certain situations when it comes to him because he's his own person. I'm my own person.
Right.
Now, going back to the one with the being one, you said that was based on sex. So how is that?
Okay, there's a scripture in the Bible where it says that's the only time in the Bible that a woman is supposed to be submissive to her husband and the husband should be submissive to his wife. It's a scripture in the Bible that say that you should never refrain sexual intercourse from one another except for the time of prayer.
The time of prayer.
In prayer, yeah. If you are going to pray, you know, for a week or whatever, I guess God didn't want you to be having sex and praying at the same time. So that's the only scripture in the Bible that talk about total submission to one another. The rest, the woman, the man was considered to be the head, the provider, and the leader of the home. Now, I got a problem with that because, in other words, what is a man? Now, is a man someone who makes so much money? You know, and so if a man is a person who makes so much money, then what the poor man going to do? You know what I mean? The poor man going to be out because he can't afford to get married.
He can't provide.
Yeah. So now the problem is, then what if a man marries a woman who is a doctor? You know, she make more money.
Came up.
Yeah, I mean, make more money. Right. Okay. So there's so many things that cause marriage to be a trap, and people don't know, but and they think that. They think that marriage is supposed to be just blissful. You just get married and you just get along, you know. But you gotta be true to yourself in marriage, and being true to yourself is being an individual. if your partner understand that you are an individual, and each person is an individual, which is the element of well-being, marriage can survive. It can go on.
So is marriage monogamy?
It should, of course, should be monogamy because according to the Bible, you should not commit adultery.
Outside of the Bible.
Okay, but if marriage is a trap, then why does it matter? Because if it's a trap already, you already know you're screwed, so might as well to get some screwing.
Well, I mean, it's a trap because it does. In other words, a trap is a trap. Okay, all depends on how you frame it. Okay, you can frame it from the positive or the negative. Mm-hmm. It's a good trap to have one party. Mm-hmm. Of course, I'm not for. For my belief is if you commit adultery one time, that's it. Mm-hmm. I don't believe in second chances. Okay, all right, because the Bible says you should forgive, and that will make the marriage so much more of a trap because that's why this book is interesting. Because I went through all that. I couldn't understand why God allowed Abraham to have so many wives. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they all have so many wives. Yeah. Right, Moses. Okay, why God pull off with this and allow it is beyond my comprehension. Okay, but then in the New Testament, things change.
I think the New Testament was written by somebody that said, you know what? This world is evolving, and we need to change some things to get with the program.
So in that case, we need a new Testament.
So we need a new Testament because actually, if you think about it, it's more relationships going back into the whole, what is it,
polyamorous.
Who?
Polyamorous.
The polyamorous way of thinking, which if you think about it, that's how it was back in the Old Testament, where a man had multiple wives or these.
But it wasn't just for the sex aspect; it was for multiple helpmates.
Right, multiple helpmates to help with the children, to help with the household duties, to help with whatever. So it's really going back to that if you really think about it, because that is more and more prevalent today. So what's going to happen now? We're going to get a New Testament.
We're going to get an old New Testament
that goes back to that way of thinking. You know, can we really base our whole marriage and our whole life off of the Bible?
Right.
Okay, the Bible. The approach of the Bible is good on one side and it's a disadvantage on the other side.
Right.
Because if marriage is for life, for better or for worse, that's a trap in itself because that means no matter what your spouse does, if your spouse commit adultery, you have to keep that. After all, you gotta be married forever.
Your spouse beat your butt,
you gotta do it. So that's a disadvantage. And there's nowhere in the Bible where it say marriage for better or for marriage for worse. Somebody came up with that idea,
right?
Just to trap people.
The trap.
You know, and I remember I had my first interview I did on the radio. Somebody had mentioned that. Well, should you be married for better or for married for worse? I said, where did you get it from? And he couldn't tell me where you got it from. And I believe it comes from.
I think it was kind of a movie.
Well, no, that's in your marriage vows.
No,
I know I heard it somewhere.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
You know
it's in the marriage. It's in the marriage vow.
Did y'all hear this?
And who wrote that marriage vow?
Did y'all hear this?
Be limited.
Right.
It's not just, you know, the Bible said, love your wife, love your husband, you know, and forgive one another. But are you going to forgive somebody 70 times 7 that cheats on you? I mean, are you going to, he going to cheat on you? Like, for my example, my father's wife.
Right.
I don't even know why she pulled over him. I mean, this man had 15 children outside marriage.
Not one.
15.
That too.
He had 28 children in all.
Woo!
Okay, so
28
children.
Good thing child support was not back then.
I mean, he took care of his children because.
Because not
28 children, 15 children outside of his marriage.
So hold on. So he had, what's that, 14, 13 with his wife?
Okay, no. When his first marriage, he married 2 times.
Okay.
His first marriage, he had 4 children, and he cheated on her with the babysitter, right? Because after and she didn't pull up with that, you know. So she divorced him. He was right. So and he had 3 children by.
So your dad knew marriage was a trap a long time ago. He won't be fool. He ain't gonna be no fool.
So the second marriage. Okay, so the first marriage he had 4 children.
Yeah.
The second marriage he had 3 children.
He had 3 children. No. The second marriage he had 2 kids.
2 kids.
Only 2. So and in all he had 28 children. So out of his marriage, his second marriage, he had 15, 17 children outside. Okay, when he married his second wife, he already had, I think, about 10 children. because the first marriage he had 4 kids, but while he was married to her, he cheated on her 2 times. 1, 2. So man, I can't count it. But when he married his second wife, right? He already had about 10 kids, 10, 12 kids. Wow. And then after he married her, he had 2 by her, and then had another 14 or 15 on the outside. So all my daddy's children are like months apart. You know, he had 3 kids a year, right? 3? Yeah, 3 kids a year. You know, one person is born in January, other one is born in March. So 3 kids a year. That's how
every quarter.
Right.
She had a kid every quarter.
Right. So so what I did was after when I got married, and that's why I got married, because I didn't want to be like my daddy. That's the reason I got married the first time. Okay. You know, I just come to America, 3 months, first girl pregnant. Oh. Yes, I was trapped.
You was trapped.
I was trapped.
That was
okay?
it.
That was it.
3 months, you know. First woman tell me she's pregnant, you know. And I said, okay, I don't want to be like my dad. You know, because when I came to America,
you should just strap it up. You had to get it.
I know.
What the fuck I had to do?
Right? You see, I became a Christian in the first place. So I wanted to do the right thing.
Do the right thing, okay.
And so I said, well, since she's pregnant, you know, I married her. Now, you said you didn't know, you got to know somebody to marry them. As far as I'm concerned, if you get somebody pregnant, you should marry them. Okay. You know, in the Old Testament, that how it was. That how it was. In the Old Testament, if you got a girl pregnant.
The way I'd married my baby mama the first time.
Right.
Hell no.
Okay, but you see, that's it.
But he went back 3 times.
Yeah, you see, but so
my business not dead.
In the Old Testament, that's how it was, right? If you got a girl pregnant, you know, you're supposed to marry, because why should you pregnant a woman and leave her alone for someone else to
raise your children?
Raise the children, right. You know. So like I said, so I married because I didn't want to be like my dad. That's my one reason, and so now let me address the issue of thinking that you know somebody. You don't really know somebody. You know, we all pass this compatibility test, you know, on the paper, but then the reality test is where the problem is. Okay, and marriage is, you can be married for 10 years, 15 years, and still get a divorce. And what amazes me about marriage is that a couple of months ago, I heard Kirk Douglas, I guess you mean Kirk Douglas?
Kirk Douglas
and his wife have been married for 68 years.
Yeah, then he married another lady.
68?
Yes.
68?
68 years.
Who married
and she told, but he's 99 now. He's 99 years old, I guess. And he said, and she wrote a book about how the marriage was a terrible marriage. He cheated on her so many times. So some people think that the longer you marry, the marriage is good. You know, that's the first thing. Yeah, misconception. Yeah. Why is marriage so true? How come people been married for a long time? No, that doesn't mean a thing. Okay, somebody is just tolerating somebody. That's what it is. Okay, now the other day I heard another couple that got married at 18 and they were married for 80 something years, because I think they were 100 and something when they just passed. And the man asked, the TV host asked them, what is the secret of marriage? You know what she said? What? She said the secret is, I let him have my ways. So in other words, she controlled controlled the marriage, because I was listening. She controlled him. Yeah, she controlled him. Wow. Okay, so that is a man who, I guess he did it. Submissive. He was submissive. And that's what makes marriage interesting, because it's not a matter of how long you've been married, because anything can happen tomorrow. You know, tomorrow is no promise to anybody. Your husband may do something tomorrow you may not like, and he may not change it.
That's true.
And that's why my subtitle is to the tune of your tolerance. It's what you can tolerate. That's what makes your marriage long. And if you're tolerating something that you know you should not be tolerating, one day you're gonna get tired.
That's true.
I remember I used to say this, and before I got remarried, I used to say that I wanted a husband that will celebrate me and not tolerate me. And I still say that, especially for young women out here. You don't want a man that would just tolerate you.
Choose the word carefully.
You want a man that will celebrate you, because if he celebrates you, then he loves you unconditionally. That tolerance level will have to come in communication. It has to come, you know, it can't be just you're tolerating me. You know what I mean? Because that makes me feel bad. Am I crazy for saying that?
No,
because
you crazy, but not for saying that.
Be quiet. because if you tolerate me, then that means that you really don't want to be here, but I'm just gonna tolerate you because I'm complacent right now.
Well, I'm tolerating you because I want to make you happy.
Okay.
If you ask me to do something and I said no, that's gonna make you unhappy, and then the next thing I'll be sleeping on the sofa.
But then if you don't want to do it,
then
so if I ask you to do something and you really don't want to do it and you say yes to do it anyway, you're not gonna do it to the best of your ability.
It could be compromising.
Well, okay, but if you compromise, you lose, because every time you compromise something,
something.
All you're doing is you are setting it up for the next. You put it on the back burner.
Yeah.
Because that same situation is going to happen again. So when you compromise, all you do is just extending the problem. Okay. The issue is not a matter of compromise. The issue is a matter of being able to let your partner be himself or her or herself.
That's right.
If he asks you to do something and he doesn't want to do it like a girl, right? Like this friend of mine, this guy likes to fishing. Yeah. And he told me, man, my wife would not let me go fishing. I couldn't believe it.
Well, let him go fishing.
She doesn't want him to go fishing.
Why?
Because she wants to control him.
That's
she wants him
much.
around. But
he should leave her.
That's too much.
All right, but no, you see now. But how you leave her? He's married to her. Okay, but if he leaves her, right, you go to the next wife, who might not want to play basketball.
Well, what you do is this what you do. That's what you get you another sister wife.
Oh yeah, get a sister.
When you go fishing, then the other wife can stay at home with her.
Exactly.
And they can keep her company.
Right.
Yeah, basically. So that way, when he come home, they can cook both of them can cook the fish that he made and be happy with it.
Really?
That would be.
I do know some women that's very controlling in that aspect. I know that I can be controlling in some facets when it comes down to like household stuff. That's because my husband, all he think of is
what?
film, movies, and business. He don't think of household stuff. So I have to kind of control that aspect of it. But as far as controlling like some of the things that he just like to do, some of his hobbies, that's just too much.
Watching porn.
Right, that's just too much. Now I will control that. You don't be watching it without me. What you talking about?
Well, you'd be surprised that some people get divorced for that.
They do because it's an addiction. Some people do get addicted to that, and that becomes a problem.
Right.
Yes, and
but also too, like I said earlier, though, those people they got married because they wanted to show society that this is what they needed to do, instead of having that friendship and that baseline. See, I can't say we're exception to the rule, but Renee and I, we have that friendship connection. We can when we argue, when we have a marriage spat, whatever the case may be, we don't talk. We don't say anything to each other. We just quiet. That's our argument because we have so much more. And it's not a compromise. It is so much more that we have together that is way more than whatever issue at the hand. Because that issue at hand is going to dissolve itself as you can tell. And so what happens is that if it's a big situation, you address it, but you don't address it right then and there because
you're addressing out of emotion.
You're addressing out of emotion, but you address it when as though you have time to think about it and time to carefully choose your word because you don't want to hurt one another because you do love that person. Mm-hmm. So I can't say that her and I marriage was a trap in disguise. It was actually a blessing in disguise because I finally someone that could tolerate me individually. So, but it works. It works. Now, all I can do now to get to agree to the sister wife thing, I'd be like your daddy. But that's just how that works out. I'm still working on that.
You got about 7 of them out there. You don't need no. We're gonna cut it right here.
So trying to get the sister wives in here. That way, when I want to go fishing, she can be comfortable with one of the sister wives.
Well, we're gonna leave it like that. We're gonna go on to take a quick break.
Yeah, where can we find the book?
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, the book can be all you can go to the website marriageisatrap.com.
And how much is it?
$18.99.
$18.99. Okay, 18. So less than $20, guys. You can understand your own marriage and personal values of yourself because it is a self-proclaimed book of how you should treat yourself first. Then whoever comes to your life will have to play off of those rules as opposed to you changing your rules for them. Am I correct in saying that?
Right. The book is a dialogue book. It's not a book that tells you 10 steps to being happy.
Right.
It's a book that allows you to see yourself through experts' opinion, through the experience I went through in my marriage, through the biblical approach to marriage. So it's a comprehensive book. It's a book that you can't just read in 1 month. You know,
right.
it's something that you got to sit down and read this book. You know, it's
you definitely got to take it in, because I've been reading some parts of.
Okay, so what's the website again?
Some passages. It's marriageisatrap.com.
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 For less than $20, you can get some firsthand knowledge, because obviously Papoo has a lot of experience with relationships. Even though he had 3 marriages, doesn't mean that there was a failure marriage. Those are marriages that he actually went through, that actually educate you and teach you and show you the path of things that may be going sour in your own personal life or relationship. So look at it from that standpoint, and I look at it from a negative standpoint. Because when we first heard the title, we were like, okay, this guy's totally against marriages. But that's not the case here. His case is about, having self-respect for yourself and being an individual for yourself, and not changing who you are, but allowing people to accept you for who you are. And then if that works, then you maybe can have something together. But if not, you're still who you are at the end of the day.
Right.
Did I sum it up for you?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's a good summary of it.
That's a good summary. So we're going to cut to a commercial, and you want to give any shout-outs to anybody? You want to tell how people can reach you, anything like that?
Well, yeah, my only contact is marriageisatrap.com. And like I said, you can purchase the book at that website, or the book is also on Amazon.com.
Okay, Amazon.
Amazon.com.
And once again, you can get the $9.99 for the what you call it, ebook.
Oh, the ebook. Okay, you can download the ebook. Okay.
Yeah,
do you have an audio form of it too?
No, we don't have an audio form.
Okay, well, work on that. Work on that audio form. Get that audio book too, because sometimes we sleep at night or driving the car, you will get into your subconscious. You know what I'm saying? So that's something definitely right there. To get involved with. So thank you, Mr. Papoo. I really appreciate you coming out tonight and sharing your experiences with us.
Right.
And hopefully you get to come back on and we'll talk some more.
Right. I appreciate you having me.
Yes. Yeah. I was reading some excerpts from the book, and it's actually this is a really interesting book, and I really like the chapter. It? Yeah, I'm definitely going to get it. I like
the last portion of the book is what sums is all up about woman being controlled. This is the best part of the book I enjoy.
The last page is
the best. If you read that right there,
I end with a piece from Family. Okay. Life help for today. Hope for tomorrow. Author Dennis Rainey. There is a story of a man who died and went to heaven to find 2 signs above 2 different lines. One sign said, "All those men who have been dominated by their wives, stand here." That line of men seemed to stretch off through the clouds into infinity. The second sign read, "All of those who have never been dominated by their wives, stand here." Underneath the sign stood one man. He went over to the man, grabbed his arm, and said, "What's the secret? How did you do it? The other line has millions of men, and you are the only one standing in this line." The man looked around with a puzzled expression and said, "Why? I'm not sure I know. My wife just told me to stand here."
Wow.
That's funny.
That's funny, okay? That's funny. She dominated no matter what.
She dominated him all the way to in heaven.
Right. So
you stand right there.
You stand right there. So what happened here, instead of man being in control, he is submitting to the woman.
He's submitting to. Is that a bad thing?
Well, I mean, we could role play sometimes.
I mean, I just want to know, is that a bad thing? I don't know. What do you guys think?
I don't know. Ask God that. God's the one that said that a woman should be submissive to the man.
Well, they said that in the Bible, that's what they say. In the Bible, right. That's what they say that God said.
Right.
But we don't know for sure.
We don't know what he said. Right. You're right.
We don't know
exactly what he said, because we didn't hear the burning bush.
Okay. We didn't hear it.
All right. So
I need that burning bush to come talk directly to me.
You're right.
That lamb. Somebody come.
All right. So we're going to cut to a commercial break, and we'll be back with the 5 questions that you guys want to know about us or whatever the situation was. And we'll be right back. See you later.
All right. Peace.
Hey, what's up? It's your girl, Shay Mack. Make sure you guys are tuning in tonight to an all-new episode of TPN Live with Bobby and Renee Peoples. Check it out.
Hola, this is Nilsa, and I'm watching TPN Live with Bobby and Renee on Instinct Radio.
You've been watching TPN Live with Bobby and Renee. Please be sure to check them out right here every first and third Thursday of the month.
No wasting time Different flavors make the world go around. And now try the flavor of hot honey mustard on the boneless wings meal. Served with crinkle fries, Texas toast, and a 22-ounce drink. Friends, family, flavor. Zaxby's. Indescribably good.
Hi, I'm Sinedria Potter Holt with Real Appraisals, and you're watching TPN Live with Bobby and Renee Peoples, a new informative show that you don't want to miss.
What's up, everybody? My name is Monica Harris. I am a pastor. I am a life coach. I'm an inspirational speaker. I'm a mentor, aspiring author, also the 2017 Archie Magazine Atlanta Woman of Achievement Award winner. Yay! But it's not about me tonight. It's all about Bobby and Renee Peoples on the TPN Live Network. Look, you are listening to Bobby and Renee Peoples on TPN Live. Don't move. I hear there's some great stuff on here. So I gotta go. I gotta listen to the show. Catch you next time with Bobby and Renee Peoples on TPN Live.
Hello, it's Cynthia Deck, aka Queen of Abs, and you're watching TPN Live with Bobby and Renee.
Honey, I wonder if your wife knows you're here right now.
Your dad plays professional football, right?
Tell us a little bit about the movie.
Hello, indie fans. Today I'm here with Eduardo Castrillo, the filmmaker.
Only with Maverick Entertainment, home to the best indie movies.
Hey, what up? It's your boy Lim Collins here to remind y'all to tune in to TPN Live with my family, Bobby and Renee Peoples. Get ready.
Hey, y'all.
We are back. Yes.
We's back.
This is Bobby and Renee.
5 question segment of the evening.
Yes, yes.
Well, that was a great interview with Papoo. I gotta say that. That was very interesting. Interesting to say the least.
He dropped some knowledge too.
Some good knowledge. I mean, and not straight from a preachy biblical sense, but you know, some like, damn, you know what? That's
from experience.
Yeah,
from a lot of experience.
Exactly.
And he came with it from the Bible standpoint also. So that was really good.
Loved it.
And so for those of you that's tuned in to my Facebook, you guys, you can go to www.tpn1.com and click on TPN Live with Bobby and Renee, and you will see the live YouTube stream.
Yes, please.
Make sure you hit the subscribe
It's a better
button.
view because you got side view, we got a front view here.
Make sure you hit the subscribe button and also the
bell so you get a notification when we upload videos.
Bells, and give us a thumbs up if
please.
You like the show.
Yes. All right, so our 5 question segment of the night. Our first question is going to be what?
Okay. If you could have a magic wand and do anything, what would that look like?
If I had a magic wand, I could do anything. I would probably say.
I don't know what this man gonna say.
I would probably. You know what? I would probably make myself the official mayor of Atlanta.
Oh, okay. Ooh, that was safe. Okay.
Yeah, I have some other nasty stuff going in my head, but I don't know how old she is. How old is your sister?
She's grown.
She's 18.
Oh,
well, then that's the case then.
Oh, no. Don't get too much.
All right. I didn't want to be graphic in front of the baby girl. No, but I would do something more film-related in the community. I think I would do something, to enhance what we already do now and to help others who are trying to get where they want to be in their own path and career, and be that brand that TPN is trying to be, that stepping stone, that conglomerate of entertainment that we bring people together and to go forth in their own walk. What would you do?
I would be retired on somebody's beach, laid up in my condo with a book in my hand and a glass of wine. I'm not even gonna lie. If I could wave a wine right now, we wouldn't have no type of financial issues whatsoever.
Except like a peppermint
patty.
We
would be financially stable. Our families would be financially stable. Our friends, we would be good. If I can wave that magic wand, so you can see who the unselfish person is in this relationship.
Yeah.
Compared to our answers.
Yeah, you the selfish one.
I surely would be. Okay. And the next question.
All right.
Why men say sorry and repeat the same action? Yeah, honey.
I never say sorry.
Yes, you.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
I don't say I apologize.
Okay, you say you apologize.
I say my bad. My bad. I can't say. I mean, men do stuff, that they can get away with it, and the best way to do it is say, "Damn, you know what? I messed up. My bad." And they go back and do the same shit again, hoping they can get away with it. So I mean, that is how it happens. They get caught out there. So
they sorry that they got caught.
Yeah, I mean, we sorry that caught.
Yeah, you're sorry that you got caught. You're not sorry for what happened, but you're sorry that you got caught.
Yeah, everybody would be sorry they got caught.
If you get caught and you say you're sorry and she accepts you back, and then you go back and do the same exact thing, women, this is for you. If you go back and do the same exact thing and you take him back again, then the joke's on you.
No, it ain't, girl. That means that you love him.
That
means you love him.
That means that you's the fool.
No.
Okay, don't let him keep doing the same thing over and over again and
show your love to that man. Sorry. If he do it 3-4 times, you
better get on
just do what you've been doing the last 3-4 times and take him back. That's all you need to do.
Whatever.
All right, what's the next question?
The next question: why women say I'm done and really don't be?
That's like the same question.
From the woman's point of view.
Okay.
I think with women, when we say that we're done, no, I take that back.
Yeah.
Because when a woman is really fed up, she's done. I don't care what you do, what you say, what you come with. I don't care. If a woman is really, really fed up, then it's a wrap. If she just say that she's done and she's just talking out the side of her neck, a woman will forgive you over and over and over again until she gets tired. And once she gets tired and she knows that she's done all that she could do, and once she walk away, that's it.
Well, I mean, that's the same thing for a man. A man can do the exact same thing. You know what I'm saying? Once a man gets fed up and get tired, he's going to walk away too. I mean, y'all might not accept it that same way, but men do it all the time. We do it all the time. If I get fed up and I just say, you know what, I'm out. Now, let's put it this way. Compared to the time you said you're going to leave me, compared to the time how many times I said I'm going to leave you. I said it one time. You got scared. You said it multiple times. What happened?
You was like, I'm sorry.
No, I ain't say my bad. I ain't say nothing like that.
I'm sorry. Please forgive me, honey.
Well, you better start acting. All I'm saying. Because same thing, when a man is fed up, it's the exact same situation. Now, obviously, individuals do things differently, but from our standpoint, we've never really got to that point where we said we are actually done. We've said that we were going to leave.
Yeah, we've said that.
If somebody didn't do, not say do, we say do, but they didn't change the situation because we're tired of the situation. Like I said, out of the 10 years we've been together, I only said it once. She said it 11 times.
It wasn't 11, maybe 3.
11 times.
Maybe 3 times.
Yeah.
And I had good reason to.
None of them was good at all.
I had good reason to. You had a good reason to too. So okay. I got it. Yeah. I understood. I understood your reason behind it.
Yep. All right. So what's the next question?
So basically, this question is about woman to woman. So ladies,
I can't answer that question.
When your man,
what's the question?
Is cheating. Okay. I was just gonna summarize it.
Well,
so basically, what it says is, why is it that women get mad at other women because of what a man tell them?
Hold on. So why a woman get mad?
So if a man is cheating, let me break this down to my husband because
look at this camera here. Why you looking at them?
Because I'm looking.
They need to be on this camera.
First of all, this is my Facebook.
So because you got your new iPhone and you want to let everybody know you got an iPhone, that's on you. Listen, this is the show camera right here.
I'm going back and forth. I know how to work the camera.
No, move the camera over this way.
So basically, ladies, and that's another thing that we need to really stop doing, because what happens is a man is going to tell you what you want to hear, right? A man is going to tell you what you want to hear. Yes,
never done that.
And if that be a lie, if that be to stretch the truth a little bit, you know, they tell a little white lie. Oh, it's not going to hurt anything.
Where y'all meet these men at?
That causes the women or the other woman to get upset. Just like that leads to situations in blended families.
I think I understand. Right? I don't understand the question. Repeat the question. So
the question
give me an example of the question.
What, I'm giving you I'm about to give you an example.
Okay.
So we're married.
Okay, we're married.
Right? And you give me this false perception of your child's mother. And you're always talking about her, always downing her. Every chance you get, you're just, you're trying to tell me what all that she's done wrong.
Okay. Which is a
So
lot.
I form my own opinion of her, and I automatically don't like her.
Okay. Okay. What I said about. Okay.
And a lot of things, it could just be from your point of view. It could be that you've lied to me about these situations, or maybe you didn't lie. But whatever it was, instead of me getting to know her for myself,
right,
I automatically formed
a biased opinion.
Own biased opinion.
I got it. Okay.
What you said.
Okay. But that can happen in any situation. It doesn't necessarily be in a romantic situation. You know what I'm saying? It could just be anything. You know what I'm saying? I guess at the individual, you have to be the person where the bigger person is like, well, I'm not going to take what she said about this other woman on face value. If you want to find out for yourself, then the best way to do it is to find out for yourself. Situation. Now, obviously, you wouldn't want to go talking to my exes or anything like that. But there was a mutual female friend of ours, and you probably want to find out what was going on.
Not really.
Well, shit. I tried.
Not really, because what we need to stop doing, though, really is stop downing that other person, especially in blended families. You need to get to know that other man or that other woman for yourself and see if you can tolerate that person. Some people, true colors will come out. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it will show. And then you would know, okay, you know what? I can't deal with this person. We even without you saying anything, but we need to give each other that opportunity to get to know that other person.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
So let me see. The next question. I think is this the last question? Let me see. We did this question number 4. Okay, question number 4. I don't know what it is.
That's it.
So, okay.
Come on now. Read that question, girl. Read that question.
Okay.
Read that question, girl.
So somebody asks, if I get taxes back and you can't file taxes, should I give you some of my tax money?
Hell yeah, you figure some of your tax money. If we in the same household and you get taxes and I don't get no taxes, I want half. I want some of that money.
If we're married.
Yes, if we're married.
And it's not about half. It's just going into one account and we both going to enjoy, the shares of those taxes. But if we're just boyfriend and girlfriend, baby, you better kick rocks. You ain't getting nothing.
That's wrong.
I think
that's selfish. It's all out.
Unless I decided I want to get you a little gift or something, I might get you a little gift. But no, you're not entitled to my tax money. It's if we're just boyfriend and girlfriend.
Right.
That's my tax money that I worked for. You're not entitled to that. No. Mm-hmm.
Ooh, okay.
So what's your take on it?
I'm like, hell yeah, I want some of that money. If boyfriend or girlfriend, husband or wife, cousins and cousins,
okay,
I'll give
it
that.
What if you got taxes back and I couldn't get no taxes back and we're just boyfriend and girlfriend?
I'm not a selfish person.
You gonna give me half of your tax money?
Hell, I made money today and gave you all the money in my wallet.
I'm your wife.
Regardless of the fact.
If I was your girlfriend.
If you my girlfriend and I'm hitting it and it's good, yes.
Why I gotta have all those stipulations though?
Because if I'm hitting it, then I'm paying. I'm like,
so you're paying now?
Yeah, I'm not paying for it exactly, but hell, that's what you're actually doing.
Some renegotiations to do.
That's what you're actually doing. You're paying for it.
He said if he hitting it and he paying. He paying now.
Okay. You earned it. You earned it.
I earned half your tax money.
You earned half that tax. But by the time, if I give you half my tax money, trust me, you have done a lot of stuff to earn it. Trust me. you would have earned it.
Really? Mm-hmm.
Believe that.
Okay, so this last question.
All right.
This is talking about dating someone with children.
Ooh.
Yes.
We've been there.
So if you're dating someone with children and you don't have children yourself, right?
Which is hard.
And you want to go out, but this person can't find a babysitter. Do you stay home with that person or do you go out anyway? Look, baby girl said, "Peace out."
Yeah, I think I would be out too. However, it depends on the situation. If me and that person, are we a couple? Are we married? Whatever.
Well, not necessarily married, but
we couple.
Yeah, you're in a relationship.
Then I'm like, I would go half on the babysitter. Like, okay, if I want to go out with you,
Okay.
And have some fun, then I will either go half on the babysitter if that's what the situation may be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but if you just can't find one altogether, then like hell, I like to stay at home kind of person anyway. So if we could Netflix and chill, then shit, that's good too.
That's because you don't want to spend no money. But from a woman point of view, from a woman aspect, it's only gonna be so many times we're gonna have to go through that situation.
No,
it's gonna be only so many times because we're gonna have to try to look. We're gonna have to interview some babysitters. I will if I'm your girlfriend, I will help you pay for childcare, especially if you're a single father.
Yeah, I mean you was my babysitter when we got married.
Yes, I was your babysitter. But it's only going to be so many times where if I want to date or if I'm getting to know this person, if I didn't have any children and you had children,
mm-hmm.
and every time something came up and we wanted to go out and you can't find a babysitter, that's going to get old.
Yeah, I mean that definitely would get old. That definitely get old. I mean, good thing about me, I'm not the type of person that has to go all the time. As long as I can go to $5 Tuesday at the movie theater, I'm good.
But what if we can't take the kids to that movie?
No, well, we take kids to movies anyway. So whether it's an R-rated movie or not, we're gonna be up in that biatch.
No,
$5 Tuesday.
Yeah, we're gonna. Yes, that's true. But we're talking about say if you want to go to a jazz club or if you want to go to a beautiful restaurant. Okay, let's not talk about what
McDonald's.
See what I'm saying?
Chick-fil-A.
See what I'm saying?
We can go to the Dwarf House. We can sit inside, baby. You ain't got to
if
go
I
to the
let
drive-thru.
this man Netflix and chill all the time, that's exactly what we would be doing.
I would. I mean,
let's talk about when we first got together because we both were single parents.
Mm-hmm.
I had Jamari and he had
the twins
mm-hmm. at the time, and the twins were little. They were little. They were like Bryson's age now. They were 6 when we got together.
Younger than Bryson.
Yeah, so that was hard because we never really had a real date.
Right, because at the time you didn't really have family here. And you didn't know my mom.
Really trust people.
And you didn't know my mom enough, where though she could stay with my mom with the twins.
Mary can stay with your mom, right?
Right.
Exactly.
So I mean, which was understandable. But with the things that we did we did it with the kids.
We did it with the kids.
Yeah.
But we didn't have a date though. Like we didn't start dating until really a few years ago when we decided that we're going to take time out, and we've been together for 10 years, guys.
10 years.
But we didn't start actually dating until a few years ago.
Yeah, we had to wait the kids older. I mean, that's the situation.
The kids had to get older, so that they can watch the smaller children, so that we can take some time out. We didn't go on our honeymoon until last year. We didn't have a honeymoon.
But we've been super busy. I mean,
we're busy,
other priorities.
But those things are important to me.
Yeah, now they're important.
They're very important. I mean, you have to set up that time. Right now, we don't have a babysitter for the summertime.
So anybody want to take a child home for 30 cents a day? 30 cents a day.
Right.
All you need is 30 cents a day and Wi-Fi. He is good to go.
Some Lunchables.
You could take him home today. That's all you need.
So the summertime be kind of restricted for us, which it's okay. Yeah. We love our baby. We knew that going into it. We had one child together, mm-hmm. and then we were a blended family of 7. So
mm-hmm.
we knew that going into it.
And only really 3.5 is at home now.
Right, right.
So the other 4 gone.
Right. Pretty much.
We counting down, baby.
We counting down, y'all. The twins is about to be 17 in October.
Yeah, so.
And then we have Bryson that's going to be 7.
So, I guess we're done. We're done with the 5 questions?
Yeah, we're done. That was our 5 questions.
So, thank you guys, as always, for giving us these crazy questions to answer. We love them just as much as you love asking us these questions. We also, make sure you guys, if you like what we're doing in the video, please subscribe to the channel. Mm-hmm. Please share the video. Please tell your friends about us. We're starting to book our calendar now for other guests. I post what kind of guests we're looking for on my page. Yes. So if you fit any of those descriptions that I post on our page for us guests.
Let's tell them about that. I want to go back to that post because I had some questions about that too.
Well, you got questions
We're going to be posting. We're going to be interviewing. This is going to get real interesting, y'all.
Yeah, we want interesting people on the show.
Yeah. So let me tell y'all what he said.
Okay.
We looking for strippers.
Yes, male and female.
Male and female strippers.
Yeah.
People in polyamorous polyamorous relationships.
Yeah, we just talked about that today.
Tell them what a polyamorous relationship.
I don't know what it is. That's what we want him on the show.
No, you know what it is.
I want to make sure we describe it right.
Research. That's why he's talking about he wants somebody. He wants some people that's in the polyamorous relationship.
I want to know if it works, if it's good for us. I don't know.
Don't get slapped. Don't get slapped on this show in front of all these people. Okay. Authors of any genre.
Yeah.
Religious people who are not holy.
Exactly, because we don't want people on here be blessing the shit and throwing holy water all around.
Yeah, they'll throw holy water on us for real.
Exactly.
Doctor with specialties in human relationships and sexuality.
Yeah, we want to talk to people, you know what I'm saying, because with physical health and stuff like that, you know, sometimes sexual emotions lack or over increase. We want to know some of the things that can either help calm them down or increase them.
Okay. Personal trainers.
Yeah, because, you know, she's been talking about getting her personal trainer.
Uh-huh.
And I like messing with them.
Uh-huh. Filmmakers with upcoming projects.
Yeah, that's what we do. It's entertainment.
Business owners starting out.
That's because you never know. Because sometimes us being business owners of several businesses, we can give our advice and see what they're trying to do, and it probably help them with their business.
Playwrights with upcoming projects.
Because you like plays. I don't like plays.
Actors. Reality TV stars.
Yes.
Musical artists.
Yes.
Other talk show hosts.
Yes.
Swingers.
I think they're interesting people to talk to.
So let's go back. We got polyamorous relationships, and then we have swingers.
Two different types of people.
My husband's trying to tell me
there
something.
are two different types. Now I have researched that because swingers are different than polyamorous people.
I thought you didn't know what a polyamorous was.
But I want to make sure. That's why I want them on the show, because, you know, we can have a debate. Matter of fact, we probably have swingers and polyamorous on the same show.
What polyamorous
I looked at Webster, you know what I'm saying? Wikipedia.
Okay, so what's polyamorous?
I don't know word for word, but go to Wikipedia. I'm sure you'll find out.
Really?
Yeah.
And what's a swinger?
Like things at the park.
No, whatever. So anyway, those are the type of guests that we're looking for.
We're looking for those type of people to be on the show, because I think they're interesting people, and I think that, you know, we will learn a lot. I'm quite sure some people, you have questions too about some of those topics. Malia, you have questions about swingers? See, she said yes. Oh, because she don't want to take her sister's here. That way there. We understand. We got you. We got you. All right, guys. We had a great show tonight.
Yes,
I want to still give a shout out to Chantel Juicy, even though she couldn't make on the show.
Yes.
We're sorry for your situation.
Yes.
We'll get you on the show another time. We won't have a show on July 20th, because that is our anniversary week starting off. So we're not going to do July 20th, which will be the third Thursday of the month. We're not going to do that because we're going to be doing something for our anniversary from that point on to the 26th, which is weird because our anniversary is not until the 26th, but we start on the 20th. I don't know.
So you took away the week, our anniversary
how that
weekend,
works
so
out.
I get the whole week. What you talking about?
See, the thing about it though, the 20th is like on Thursday, then the 26th is like on the next Thursday.
What you talking about, Shawty?
It's like I'm not sure how that works out, but anyway. So hey, that's what we're doing. So there's no show on the 20th of July. We'll be back on August 3rd. I actually booked one guest already. And I'm booking the next guest, hopefully in the next couple of days.
Jamari's.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah, we did. No, we got both guests. We got R&B singer Tia and up and coming musical artist and college graduate to be Jamari Warren Hayes.
Which his name is Mari Trust Me.
Mari Trust Me.
Yes.
Okay,
and we got to talk about his what he got going on.
Yes, this is our oldest son.
His whole coming into his spirituality and stuff that he has going on. So that's going to be a very interesting show.
Interesting show.
Yes.
Interesting show. So hopefully you guys are tuning into that. And how we in all of our shows? 1, 2, 3, and peace. See you next time.